AM Live. I'm here with the lovely Laurie Webb, and we're going to be talking about the seniors this morning, and you have a senior health and safety fair.
We do, Susie. We have the first, actually, senior health and safety fair that we've ever held. There were health fairs at the hospital for a long time.
Right.
And they gradually started shrinking and shrinking. And last month at the Commission on Aging meeting, we were talking about what we should do for Older Americans Month, which is May. And
I never knew that.
Well, a lot of people don't because,
Because I'm an older American. older.
But those of us who are baby boomers are kind of keeping a low profile on that, right?
Oh, hey,
But I think you should be proud of being older American, and you should celebrate it. So we are celebrating, and the theme was Safe Today, Healthy Tomorrow. And since the mission of the Amador Senior Center is to keep people safe in their homes, comfortable in their homes, and involve them in the community, we thought, what better way to celebrate than to have a health and safety fair? Well, the idea just took off, and we have 18 vendors coming.
Wow.
People were like calling Eileen up, going, I want a table, I want a table.
Now, what are some of the vendors?
Well, we have the Amador Senior Center, Common Grounds, like Assist Care is going to be there with information about all 4 of their facilities. All of the local in-home care agencies are going to be. The DA's office is going to be there with a whole table of scam stuff. Craig Harmon from CHP is going to be there.
He's a great guy.
Terry Sanders and Jason Medford with their different veteran services are going to be there. So it's huge. And we're not charging the vendors. We just said, just show up. We'll give you a table.
Oh, great.
And it's open to the public, and it's free.
Great.
And we'll have refreshments and door prizes, and it's just going to be a great thing.
And that's going to be from 1 to 4.
1 to 4 next Friday.
Next Friday.
At the Senior Center.
Great.
And we're going to have some demonstrations. We're going to have 2 exercise demonstrations put on by our Foothill Fitness trainers.
Good.
And we're going to have Janice Steele from United Home Care is going to do balance assessments privately. I don't want to be assessed and fall over while I'm getting assessed for my balance, but she's going to do that for people, and probably blood pressure testing and a few other tests.
Haven't you found, Laurie, that a lot of people, when we get older, sometimes we get into denial. We don't want to admit that there are certain things that we can't do anymore.
Right.
And so, therefore, we put it on the back burner and we stay in denial. But they become very, very serious safety issues, and they can actually lead to a very bad injury, and heaven forbid worse. But I think that it's very important to know your limitations.
Yes.
And it's okay to say to your family and friends, I can't do this any longer.
Yes. And it's okay to say to yourself, I can do this, but I need some help, or I need to change how I'm doing it.
Right.
And it can be as simple as using a cane when your balance starts to get bad.
Absolutely.
I mean, and you can do things to kind of put off those. Like, we have found that exercise programs like Tai Chi, like our Foothill Fitness, like our Classic Kickers, the people that go to those programs regularly, they increase their balance so much and decrease their likelihood of falling. And that's the worst thing. You fall, you break a hip, you have to have somebody come take care of you, and exactly.
Yeah, and you can do a lot of exercise that's good for your circulation and balance just by even sitting in a chair.
That's
right.
right.
Like a lot of people don't realize that you don't have to get up and do work up a sweat or whatever, because that's not what it's about. It's about getting in your comfort zone and doing what you can. Tai Chi is wonderful.
Tai Chi is terrific.
It's great.
Yeah.
And it just stimulates everything.
And they have found more and more that exercise is good for your brain. We had a speaker on memory loss and early signs of dementia last Wednesday at the commission, and he said that the one thing besides quitting smoking, because smoking is very damaging to your brain, is that you can do to increase your mental capacity is the exercise. It's everything you do to take care of your heart is also good for your brain.
And another thing that's really good too, to keep you mentally alert, is if you have a computer, or even if you don't, play solitaire, work crossword puzzles. Do anything, take puzzles, do things like that, because it keeps your mind alert. And then when you see that, we all can see our reflexes are not quite that fast or whatever. And there we go again with another safety issue.
Yeah, right,
coming
right,
down the road,
yeah.
and then you have the situation where, a deer runs out or something, and the
And you can't-
reflexes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's okay to say, you know what, I don't think I can do this any longer. I'm going to have to ask for some help.
And that's very important. It's the other thing that keeps people safe is being interactive with other people. I
Right.
mean, don't park yourself in front of the computer when you retire and play solitaire for 80 hours at a time. Get out there, play bocce ball. The gentlemen that are going to be on
Sure.
are talking about the bocce ball. I mean, go out and do social things because it's very important to stay engaged with your neighbors in your community. And, instead of texting somebody, if you text, call them up on the phone and
Absolutely,
talk to them. Or go have
absolutely.
coffee with them,
Right. I was down in the Bay Area a couple of weeks ago, and my husband and I were having lunch, and we noticed a group of ladies that came in, and they were elderly, and there was about 6 or 7 of them, and it's like you could tell that once a week they get together and they go out to lunch. That keeps you going.
And if one of them doesn't show up, you can bet that the others are on the phone.
They know.
Mabel, where are you?
Right.
And if Mabel doesn't answer the phone, they're going to go check on her.
Right.
And that's very important. To do
And not
that.
only that, you build up this relationship with other people,
Yes.
and you can share things like sometimes you have like 7 or 8 lady friends, and 3 of them are widows. The other ones aren't, and sometimes the ones that are widows feel left out because their spouse is no longer with them, and that's not true. I think the older you get, it's so much more fun. I'm going to use the word. It's more fun. Just bring them in. A lot of times, the husband, he likes the company of other women, and being a friend.
Right.
And it helps him and the couple to adjust to the fact that she is a widow and that they do miss their dear friend.
Right.
And vice versa.
Right, and it's a reality of life. And one of those couples is going to be alone someday too.
Absolutely.
So they need, I think, to start understanding how one adjusts to that kind of life.
You better believe it. So we're talking about next Friday the 30th.
Next Friday the 30th
From
from 1 to 4 at
Right.
the Senior Center. It's free. It's not just for seniors. Oh, we're going to have a dial-a-ride bus
Oh, good.
and an ambulance there too.
Great.
So people can kind of look at those. So,
Great.
and while you're there, if you have grandchildren or you're taking care of grandchildren, please pick up a See's Candy present for your
Right.
teachers.
Because you can get your See's Candy at the Senior Center.
Right.
You can order it there. So I want to remind you again, please get down there, because even if you think you don't need any services or whatever, it's always good to support the Senior Center.
And you might know somebody that needs services.
And absolutely. I think we have to go on. Lori, thank you so much for all your hard
Always
work
good to be
there.
here, Susie.
And I think we're going to go on to Cam and our next guest.